Hi everybody, you know who it is, Miss Brody back for another fantasy writing lesson. We're getting near the end of all these lessons and I hope they're helping you keep on working on those stories to make them better than you ever thought they could be. Today we're going to talk about word choice. This clip is from one of my favorite TV shows. It's called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I found this and thought I would put it in here because what we're talking about are words, words, words. Basically, what's more important to a writer than words, right? Not much, because that's really what it all comes down to, the words we choose as writers. So today I really want to impress upon you and make you realize that the words you choose in your writing matters. Those words, you need to be thinking about them. So we want to become better writers. That's our goal. So we have to examine the words that we use. So I'm going to give you a few tips today on things that you might want to think about that maybe you haven't thought about before. And you've had lessons on these before, but it's always helpful to be reminded. So here's one on just this big word called onomatopoeia. Right? Onomatopoeia are those sound effects words. Can you find a place in your story where a sound word might help the reader hear what's going on? Go for it. Do it. Every fantasy story should have at least one onomatopoeia in there. So find a place to do it. Priscilla and the animals stood quietly in the middle of the bushes. They could hear the thistle creatures approaching. Hmm, hmm, like the buzzing of bees, right? That really just helped the reader hear the sound of those approaching thistle creatures by adding those hmms in there. Next strategy. Using precise nouns. Nouns are the people, places, and things in your story. Can you look and be more specific when you use nouns? Well, look over your writing. Search for nouns, and there are going to be a lot of them. So here are just some examples. Obviously, you're not all going to have these nouns, but here's just ways to change basic nouns into more specific nouns or more precise. So instead of saying somebody like got a drink, can you be more specific and say they got a glass of milk or a cup of orange juice or a hot steaming cup of tea, right? Drink is not very specific, but make it more specific. Instead of saying somebody, again, I guess I'm hungry since I'm writing about drinks and snacks. If you're writing about someone getting a snack, can you be more specific and say that it's an apple, popcorn, or pretzels? Instead of saying, the character is hiding behind a tree, can you really picture what type of tree it is? Can it be a maple, an oak, a birch, or a pine tree, right? Be specific. Instead of your character walking their dog, can they say they took their Yorkie or their Saint Bernard or their German Shepherd out for a walk? Being just that tiny bit more precise than just calling it a dog, okay? So we've got onomatopoeia and we've got now precise nouns. And next, we're going to talk about precise verbs, action words, right? Can you be more specific when using verbs? Again, look over your writing and search for verbs. Guess what? There are going to be a lot of them. Instead of walked, I talked about this in another lesson. Instead of walked, can you be more specific and say, is your character marching, stomping, or maybe they're walking slowly, which you could say ambling or shuffling, right? Instead of looked, can it be that they spotted, eyed, or spied something? Instead of said, and again, I've talked about this before, can we be more specific in how they're saying it? Is it yelled, announced, or maybe whispered? Instead of ran, is it that your character galloped, sprinted, or even flew, right? Be more specific in your verbs. Another one, if we're going to have specific nouns and verbs, let's talk about precise adjectives. Those are description words. So can you be more specific when you use adjectives, especially some of those really basic words such as nice or even so or very? So instead of saying something is a nice house, instead of calling it a nice house, let's describe what it looks like. Can you say it's a mansion, or can you call it an elegant house or a comfortable house or a beautiful house? That's much more specific than nice. Instead of saying someone or a character is so smart, can you just say that he or she is brilliant, intelligent, a genius, or clever? That's better than so smart. Instead of saying somebody is very kind, can you be more specific? There's so many ways to be kind. Can your character be thoughtful, compassionate, generous, or helpful? Instead of saying something's big, can it be enormous, gigantic, or even spectacular? Or even huge, right? There's different gradations of big. And finally, how about a hyperbole? Hyperbole is that extreme exaggeration. Can you find a dramatic place in your story that you want to emphasize something? Maybe you want it to make it something funny. Try using hyperbole. Here's some examples. The animals waited in silence for years. Now, they didn't really wait 4 years, but you get that it's a long time. The basket Priscilla carried weighed a ton. No, it didn't. It didn't really weigh a ton, but it gets the point across that it's feeling really heavy. Mr. Beaver's teeth were chattering so much he could have chewed through 1,000,000 logs, right? Like he's so nervous, his teeth are chattering. But now it's almost kind of funny that he could chew through 1,000,000 logs, his teeth are chattering so much, right? So even in a serious, scary part, you can inject some humor through the use of a hyperbole. Again, words matter. You have a job as a writer, a big job, and there's so many choices that you have to make. But you have to start slowing down and thinking about the words that you're choosing, especially when you reread your writing. You're doing that, right? You're rereading your writing every day you open that document, right? You're kind of going back to the beginning or maybe what you wrote the day before and see if you can make it better. Every time you reread, see if you can find 2 to 3 places to switch out a boring word and replace it with a better one. Maybe add an onomatopoeia or even a hyperbole, right? Little changes can make a big difference. Here's our final little review. We've covered ADD, action description dialogue. We've talked about transitions and paragraphs, PATS. Place, action, time, speaker is when we put new paragraphs. Poor Lisa Simpson. Writing is the hardest thing ever, but we can do it. We've talked about adding setting to each and every one of your scenes so that no characters are just floating around and we don't know where they are. We've definitely talked about show, don't tell, finding the heart of your story, writing meaningful dialogue, and today about word choice. There's a lot of things to think about, no doubt, but you can do it. It's time today to go off and start drafting. 3 days left. Push yourself to be your best. Think before you write. You can do it. Have a great day, everybody.